Muchas gracias, afición. Este para vosotros.
In the high stakes of League of Legends, the ability to secure your key objectives can mean the difference between victory and defeat. People are consistently not securing objectives because they're making fundamental mistakes that are costing their games. Being someone who can consistently and confidently secure objectives, I'm going to dive into how to secure objectives such as Baron, Dragon, or Herald to carry your games. Since League is a dynamic game, there are numerous scenarios that can occur, and I'm breaking these scenarios down to 5 categories. The 5 categories are securing objectives with vision, securing objectives without vision, the no jungle or coin flip, stealing with champion ults, and going for no risk plays. I'm going to explain how you should approach each scenario and walk you through examples for each scenario afterwards. At the end, I'm going to show you 2 examples of what happens when you don't understand the basics, which ultimately led to us losing the objective. Here we go. Securing objectives with vision. The first step is to assess the situation. In League of Legends, every game is unique and the combination of matchups is virtually infinite. You have to consider every detail when approaching objectives. What are the odds of success? Is the enemy jungler alive? Which laners are currently dead on your team or the enemy's team? Is it worth risking your life for the Smite attempt? What champions and items does this enemy have? And how do they impact their ability to contest objectives? Analyzing these factors within seconds can help you make informed decisions regarding your approach and Smite timing. The second step is to calculate your damage output. Calculating the total damage you can inflict within a 1 to 2 second time frame and adding that number to your Smite damage provides a precise idea of the objective's health at which you should attempt to steal. For example, if your Kha'Zix Q can deal 900 damage to an isolated Baron, and if you add that to your 1200 Smite damage already, you have a total of 2100 damage. This means you outsmite the other jungler when the objective reaches the health threshold. The third step is to remain calm under pressure. If the enemy jungler is dead, consider smiting the objective a little bit later to ensure your team secures it. There's no need to perfectly smite it at 1200 except in rare cases when a champion like Cho'Gath can outdamage your Smite. In these situations though, you should prioritize zoning Cho'Gath or avoid contesting the objective before attempting to do Baron or Dragon. When the enemy jungler is alive, maintain your focus on the objective and keep your eyes on the health bar and wait for the perfect moment to smite. Avoid being distracted by the chaos around you and concentrate on stealing the Baron. Smiting correctly under pressure takes practice and experience, so over time, your anxiety will decrease and you'll feel more confident and less pressured when securing these objectives. You can smite through CC, don't forget. Here's our first example. In this clip, you can see that we had vision and knew exactly when it started. Since we lack vision control, I'm signaling my team to back away because I want to reduce a bloodshed aftermath and only put myself at risk of dying here. Since I put a control ward down, we no longer have vision of the dragon and we have to use our ability sparingly to see the dragon's health bar. I realized that my Q and Smite combo will outdamage the jungler, and I have the blast cone, my E, and flash to use as options to try to steal. Even though I saw the health bar at 3000, I knew this was the perfect time to jump in, and I easily stole the dragon and got out without having to risk anything. This is a perfect example of knowing when to attempt to steal. Now let's delve into the intricacies of smiting without vision control and concept of coin flipping. When you're in a high pressure situation or your team lacks complete control of the area, smiting can become a daunting task. Smiting without vision control means taking a calculated gamble because you lack clear vision of the objective's health. In such situations, precise timing is even more critical. You rely on your intuition and experience to smite when it feels right. This process introduces the concept of coin flipping. A coin flip occurs when both teams have an equal chance of securing the objective with their smites, making it a high risk, high reward scenario where split-second decisions can decide the outcome. If you're a more precise player and did that mini checklist in your head, you should be able to steal despite the odds. However, understand when it's worth risking these plays versus simply just giving the objective away. An example would be if you had a 700 gold bounty and decide to steal a dragon even though you can afford giving it, but you end up missing Smite and giving over 1000 shutdown instead. This would completely throw the game and make it even harder to win for no reason when you could have just given the objective. I'm going to walk you through 2 examples here. In the first example, my team just died and I quickly processed the entire situation in 3 seconds. I saw Jinx was half HP and low mana, Twisted Fate had no HP and no mana, Thresh had no mana, and ruled out Sylas was my biggest threat. Based on this, I know only Sylas and Jinx will be doing damage to Baron, so I know it'll be slower, which gives me greater chances to steal. Even though I had no vision on Baron, I knew I couldn't waste any time going in based on their champions, which is why I fully sent it. I used a blast cone to hopefully get deep into Jinx and get her out of the fight before stealing Baron. In this example, we were fighting for Elder in a 3v3 situation, and you can really never give up this dragon. Even though we have zero vision control of the area, I play only on intuition and understand I can only go in early because of my Fiddle Fear, but I realize I cannot Zanyas here also because I'll miss my smite opportunity. Since my ult and W do plenty of damage, I'm only staring at the dragon's health bar and I smited it the millisecond it went under 1200. By making these plays, I successfully made the game-winning plays in ranked and carried my team. Moving on to the no jungler coin flip and using global ultimates. In situations where neither jungler is present, the scenario becomes a coin flip. This is when you need to assess the risks and potential outcomes based on the champions and their damage output. Consider which team has the greater chance of bursting the objectives quicker and securing it. After evaluating the situation, decide whether to commit to the objective or wait until the enemy is zoned further away to ensure its securement. Stealing objectives with global ultimates or champion abilities can sometimes be a matter of luck, or if the enemy team made a huge mistake they shouldn't have ever made in a million years. If you're on the receiving end of a stolen objective, you should re-evaluate your approach and learn from your mistakes. It's crucial not to leave the pit to chase kills when Baron or Dragon is at a critical health threshold, so always keep that in mind before deciding to engage a fight or securing the objective first. In this example, I'm evaluating the damage my rocket does and waiting for the perfect moment to launch it. They just got a dragon, so I'm calculating how fast they're doing dragons in my head, but at the same time, I would say it's 40% luck too. I shoot my rocket in a location I think someone will be standing and steal a dragon. Here's an example of another Jinx doing this. In this example, Jinx is sitting in base and calculating the time the rocket will take to arrive at its destination while understanding the total damage output. There is zero risk in making this play here, so it's a fantastic way to steal objectives if you can. Setting up the objective before. In general, when you're attempting to secure an objective, it's crucial to establish as much vision control as much while maintaining a great position. Employing control wards and sweeper trinkets to clear enemy wards around the pit will increase the chances of stealing the objective, and will increase your team's safety since you have more information on their whereabouts. In addition, effective communication with your teammates is essential for a coordinated effort, and it reduces the chances of your smite being contested. While I've shown you examples of playing optimally, here are two examples that you need to correct if you're making these mistakes. In this clip, we're trying to rush Baron in a 5v4 scenario. I'm playing Xayah, focusing on Baron with Diana while my team zones and kills their Graves. Despite killing their jungler, Diana smites early and ends up losing Baron and throwing the game because she didn't assess the situation. Even though she was going to die here, there's no reason to ever smite Baron when it's a 4v1 and their jungler is dead. If she just didn't smite, we could easily kill Fizz before finishing Baron since it's a 4v1. We are human, but this is a mistake that can be easily avoidable if you take a second and think. In this example, both teams are contesting for Elder, and realistically, whichever team secures this dragon wins the game. This means that securing this dragon should be our main priority, and we need to make decisions to facilitate this. I was pinging for Kennen to engage because of his ult would zone them, however he was a KDA player who didn't want to do anything. He's sitting in the backline doing absolutely nothing until it was too late. If you were to distract him of his ultimate and Zanya's, you have a greater chance of taking the dragon and winning the game. Please do not stand around waiting for a teammate to do everything. If you're the front line, please be the front line. Thank you. In conclusion, timing, preparation, and precise execution are crucial in your ability to secure objectives and make game-winning plays. The key is to adapt, rely on intuition, and make split-second decisions. With practice and experience, you'll slowly embrace the uncertainty and become the carry in your games. If you found this video helpful, you should totally like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll be able to improve immensely over time. Have a phenomenal day, guys.